Toddlers age from 12 months to 36 months. This is the time when children begin to walk independently to the time when they are walking and running with ease. Toddlers love the feeling of independence. However, this feeling is oftentimes shut down by their parents telling them no. This can be avoided by limiting the opportunity for no answers, such as telling the child it is time to take your medicine instead of do you want to take your medicine? Some physical changes include fine motor skills, such as being able to hold crayons and turning doorknobs. Cognitive changes include being able to put thoughts into words and beginning to imitate behaviors that they see regularly, such as dad shaving. Though their vocabulary is limited, they understand a lot more. Psychosocial changes include being very curious during playtime and participating in parallel play, which is playing beside rather than with another child. You should make sure to lock up all possible poisons to prevent injury. Healthy foods are also important to keep in mind as lifetime eating habits stem from early childhood. Finger foods are ideal to allow toddlers to regain independence.
For the preschooler, the physical growth slows, but it continues. A preschooler gains about 5 pounds per year and grows 2.5 to 3 inches. Large and fine muscle coordination improves, and they learn to copy figures such as crosses and squares onto paper. They develop coordination needed for the printing of letters and numbers. The most rapid cognitive growth occurs in the frontal lobe. They start to classify objects according to size and color, and they start questioning. They have increased social interaction and interact with others their age. As a child nears the age of 5, they use rules to understand causation, building a more found basis for logical thought. The fear for this age group is bodily harm. A preschooler has about 8,000 to 14,000 words in their vocabulary. They start to ask questions as why and how come. They make new friends and develop new skills at this age. The preschoolers also have stress, and they sometimes revert to bedwetting or thumb sucking. It is important for the nurse to let the parents know it's normal for them to cope that way. Play is an excellent way for preschoolers to vent frustration, and the play of a preschooler becomes more social after the 3rd birthday as it shifts from parallel to associated play. The preschooler becomes more coordinated with better balance. They are great imitators, and the parental example is important. They are usually quite independent in washing, dressing, and feeding. Alterations in this independence influence their feelings about their own health. They consume about 1,800 calories a day. A 4-year-old has finicky eating habits, and a 5-year-old likes to try new foods. They average 12 hours of sleep a night and take infrequent naps, and vision screens are important at this age.
School-age children, this is the middle age of your childhood. Some physical changes that occur. Growth during early school years is slow and consistent. Girls begin to exceed boys in both height and weight by the end of the school years. Children practice the basic gross motor skills such as jumping, running, balancing, and throwing. Fine motor skills also begin to improve. Some cognitive changes that occur. There are language development. Language growth is rapid. Children begin to think more about language, which enables them to understand more concepts. Some psychosocial changes that occur. They begin to experience pure relationships. Group and personal achievements become important to them. The school-age child prefers the same sex to opposite sex peers. Some sexual identity to go along with psychosocial changes includes this being the time for them to be exposed to sexual education. And they also begin to experience stress. Today's children experience more stress than children in earlier generations. Some health risks that you can see with the school-age child, accidents and injuries are a major health problem. Infections account for the majority of childhood illnesses, such as respiratory infections and the common cold. Health promotion that you can see with this age group, health education. The school age period is crucial for the acquisition of behaviors and health practices for a healthy adult life. Some health promotion safety, priority health teaching consideration is safety to this age group. And nutritional factors, the prevalence of obesity among children in this age group is increasing, which leads to health problems in the future.
Adolescence is the transition period of childhood to adulthood, which ages from 13 to 20 years old. During this time, the body is rapidly growing, such as the skeletal muscle system. The body also goes through puberty, which is the body's ability to perform sexual reproduction. Key things to remember for adolescents is that they seek for their own personal identity while wanting to be accepted by their peers. During this time, they are at higher risk of motor vehicle accidents and sexual transmitted infections and suicide. It is important to provide teenagers with education to prevent these accidents, such as drinking and driving, and the risk of sexual activity, and how to prevent sexually transmitted infections. It is also crucial to detect signs of depression and suicide. Always provide conversation and privacy so that teenagers feel more comfortable to speak honestly and freely.